You're going to learn how to give yourself a 30% pay raise right now. And don't ask your boss for it. They're not going to give it to you. They might even laugh you out of the room. Yeah, you should be enjoying about a 30% pay raise year over year if you own rental property. And you might think, oh, come on, rents are up, but they're not up 30%. Well, let's get a fresh look at the direction of national rents with a chart, and then we're going to get you your 30% pay raise. Hi, I'm Keith Weinhold. This is Get Rich Education. Now, I recently had a conversation with somebody that works in the medical field. He and I agreed that more people need personal accountability in every aspect of their lives, your finances, your fitness, and the strength of your family, not blaming problems on others, because these are all things that you can control. But then, you know what? Just about an hour later, he was lamenting that his employer only gave him a 3% annual pay increase when inflation has soared way higher than that, so his purchasing power and lifestyle for he and his wife and 2 children were debased. Well, for years, he knows that I've been a real estate investor, and he knows that I can help get him started by adding another income stream to his life this way. Well, here's how you get a 30% pay raise. And if you want to have the ability to do what most people can't do, then you need to be willing to learn what most people don't want to learn and act on that information. And you know, in today's world, compared to real estate, some investments are trendier than espresso martinis. And then you've got others like metaverse real estate or NFTs, understanding how crypto cold storage works. Well, those things might have some merit, yet they're often either cryptic, enigmatic, or just esoteric. They're hard to figure out what's really going on inside them, and a lot of people, they just don't have the time to figure all of that out. In fact, what are your collateralized bond obligations backed by? You surely know that, right? No, you don't. So let's forget about all that complicated stuff for a minute. Simple is elegant. People are willing to pay you to live in your property, and I just love the simplicity and the long-term viability of that. Anyone can quickly understand that, whether you're a full-time medical professional or a lawyer or a car salesperson. Well, rents have gone up, up, up. Let's take a look at this chart to see the direction of residential rent price growth over the last 2 years. Rent is actually part of the inflation calculation, by the way. It's part of the CPI. Shelter costs are fully 34% of the government's consumer price index. But what you'll see here is that rent increases have been torrid, up 0.7% just month over month, and up 8.6% year over year. Really healthy. And with the way that the Bureau of Labor Statistics collects the data from 50,000 landlords and tenants like they do, there are some lag effects here. That's one reason why I think that the rate of rent increases has crescendoed, and I expect the level of price increases to moderate down from this 8.6% annual rent increase. So rent should keep climbing, although just at a lower rate. And America has massive amounts of new apartment building construction underway and less single-family home construction. So with single-family home supply expected to stay low, their rents should stay pretty buoyant or keep rising, probably outpacing apartment rent. But, well, with that, here we go. Let's make this chart real for you and break down how it builds your wealth specifically. All right, say that you've got a mortgage loan on your rental unit. Last year, your income property, like a single-family home that rents out, or duplex units, or apartment units, all right, say that you had $2,000 of monthly rent 1 year ago, and you had $1,600 of mortgage and operating expenses. Well, that leaves you with $400 of monthly cash flow. Okay, that's your monthly residual income. Nice. All right, well, here's what an 8.6% rent increase means to you this year. Your rent is up to $2,172. That's an 8.6% rent increase from last year. Minus $1,600 of mortgage and operating expenses, that gives you $572 of monthly cash flow. So despite this 8.6% rent increase, your cash flow just increased 43%. Yes, $400 up to $572 is 43%. Now extrapolate that effect across your entire portfolio. This is 43% more dollars that you feel in your pocket every single month. Hey, we're going to look at how this happened in just a moment. And hey, if you approve, go ahead and put a like on the video here. I'd really appreciate the like. Your comparatively modest rent increase resulted in a 43% increase in the cash that you feel in your pocket every month. That is because your principal and interest payment, which is your biggest monthly expense, that stays fixed. Inflation cannot touch it. You want to be sure to have a loan on the property to create that leverage, a fixed interest rate loan. And long term, it is better for you to own 5 properties with 20% down payments than it is just one paid off property. And now in reality, it might not quite be a 43% increase. It'll be more like 30% more dollars in your pocket monthly. And that's because some of your smaller recurring expenses like property tax and maintenance and insurance costs, well, they go into that $1,600 of expenses, and they are often roughly indexed to inflation. So those smaller expenses will rise with inflation. Yeah, employers don't give employees raises like this. That's why I say that when you directly control real assets, you can give yourself a raise, about a 30% raise in this case. You're not gouging tenants either, you're charging market rate. I mean, this right here is how investors build their fortunes, especially in high inflation. And I just described the third crown of my trademark term, the inflation triple crown, to you. That's how inflation makes you win with real estate 3 ways at the same time. The other 2 are asset price inflation and debt debasement. And look, this right here, this is some real get out of the rat race stuff. This here is why your residual rent income can increase fast. Really, the overriding lesson here is increase the proportion of your income that you don't have to trade your time for at your day job. Increase the portion that comes from a more passive income source. And you know what else comes with this 30% raise that wouldn't come from a 30% raise from your employer, even if they gave you one, which is nearly impossible in most cases? The thing is that you could expect to pay a lower tax rate on your rental income than you do with your active day job. All right, so how, again, do you give yourself a big raise? In summary, you directly own property with a fixed rate loan. Again, we're talking about stuff that's really easy to understand here. There was no complicated math earlier. Now, if you're in the position where you know that you need to raise the rent up to market rates because you already have some rental properties and you haven't made those raises yet, and you want to know how to get the best tactics, know what those best techniques are for getting rent increases from your tenants while retaining them and keeping them in place, including what you should never say to a tenant when you tell them about raising the rent, check out this video for those best tips and techniques on how to raise the rent and retain a good tenant at the same time. If you need your first income property, or you need to add some more, where you will actually find income properties that are conducive to this proven technique, this is all you have to do. Unlike my medical worker friend that just never acts on anything, this technique of turning price inflation into an ethical income gain for you is, it's perhaps even proven over centuries. Check out our network of GRE Marketplace property providers. It is free. Create one login, one time, and get access to them all. And understand that GRE Marketplace is not like a big box store. It's more like an organic farmer's market where we help match you with experienced property providers that work specifically with investors like you, and they know what you need. This is how I buy all of my properties myself. Properties typically are not in your home market because that's often not where the best deals are for the best high rent yields that you really want and need. And because it's outside of your home market, we even video interview the property managers for you right there on that page so that you can begin to get a comfort level. In order to have what most people don't have, you need to be willing to do what most people won't do. And I've got a welcome video for you over there to help lead you through. I'm Keith Weinhold. I'll see you in the next video or right now at gremarketplace.com.